Hello and welcome to the news here on Magicbricks, now India's first property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. Pune is all set to get a spanking new satellite cities. These will be built around the walk-to-work concept. Tenders to plan and build these cities will be issued this month. That's a Magicbricks Now exclusive. The Delhi High Court pulled up the government and the capital's lieutenant governor summoned civic officials as the conservancy workers' strike entered its 10th day. Meanwhile, citizens had to contend with piles of garbage and shuttered schools and hospitals. The Maharashtra Chief Minister sets up an inquiry to look into the raging fire at the Devna garbage dump. 8 days since the incident, there's still little that's changed on the ground or in the sky. And our special series, India's Smart 20, continues. Today, we take a look at Ludhiana and its smart plans. Straight to our big story. Pune is buzzing. Maharashtra's IT hub is all set to get new satellite cities that will be developed ground up. As we speak, the newly minted Pune Metropolitan Region Development Authority, or PMRDA, is drawing up a blueprint. Magicbricks Now's editor Faye D'Souza got exclusive access to the development body's plans, and she joins us here on the news with more details on that. Faye, the buzz around Pune doesn't seem to die. First, the smart city tag, now new cities. Will these be smart as well?
Well, they definitely be smart, Krishna. The advantage, obviously, of building a greenfield city, which is from ground up, is that you get to leapfrog all of the, the mistakes that have been made by the cities in the past. Now, what the PMRDA has done is drawn up a new map. This map extends all the way to Lonavala on one side, touching the MMRDA's boundaries. So it technically, 10, 15 years down the line, we're looking at the possibility of Pune and Mumbai being twin cities that are right next to each other, because that's the kind of scope that we're looking at. These satellite towns that Pune is going to build obviously will have to start with a plan. Now, what the PMRD is planning on doing is it will issue tenders for the study. So what it needs, an agency to come in and do is study the entire land, also decide based on job creation. What they're very clear about is they don't want to build a satellite town where people have to travel to Pune for work every day. They want to build satellite towns that have jobs created in those towns, so people can walk to work, maybe come into Pune or to Mumbai over the weekends, if they really need to. So the idea is to build several towns around Pune so it can extend itself. And because I said, like I said, it's going to start ground up, this will mean that they have a lot of advantages in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of planning, transportation, that sort of thing. What's going to happen right now is on the 12th of February, there will be a tender announced for an agency to come in and study the land and decide what sort of economic activity is possible, what kind of jobs can be created, and hence what kind of towns can be built. It's also important for the land to be geotagged as to this will be commercial, this will be residential, that sort of thing, which they're planning on doing via satellite, via helicopter, geotagging all of that land and deciding how many towns can be built, what the size of those towns will be, and what the economic activity will be in all of that. That tender is the first thing that will go up. All of this information will be available online for citizens. There'll be a lot of ease of doing business in these towns for citizens, walk to work. Obviously, it will be towns that will push public transport as opposed to private transport. So we're looking at trains, buses, road transport, that sort of thing. So massive plans coming out from the PMRDA. They're aiming to raise funds through land acquisition. This will not have an allocation from the state government's budget. They will release, to begin with, funds from Hinjewadi, which is in PMRDA territory. They will release land from Hinjewadi to sort of create budgets to execute this plan, but it's going to be completely self-sufficient. They're also talking about, environmentally sustainable cities. They're talking about cities that sort of grow with the environment, so waste reduction, using solar power. Lots of very exciting things coming out from the PMRD. We'll be tracking that, starting, of course, with the tender happening next week, and we'll bring you regular updates.
Faye D'Souza, our editor, with the details of Pune's plans. Sounds very futuristic. That picture has been painted by Faye. Faye, thank you so much for bringing us that. On to the other big story that we're tracking over here. The Delhi High Court has pulled up the Delhi government, even as the capital's Lieutenant Governor summoned civic officials to end the conservancy workers' strike that entered its 10th day. Citizens continue to contend with piles of garbage and shuttered schools and hospitals as the workers have been throwing garbage in the city and holding agitations across the national capital region. My colleague Deepa Rana has been tracking this case closely, and she gets us this report from Delhi.
The garbage crisis in Delhi has entered its 10th day today, and the municipal cooperators have met the Lieutenant Governor in Delhi after the Delhi High Court pulled them up for being responsible for the continuous garbage crisis that is happening in Delhi. The Delhi government had promised 551 crores of loan to the MCD workers. Even as we speak, the MCD strike is on. However, the municipal councillors of North Delhi, South Delhi and East Delhi met the Lieutenant Governor and raised demands. They have asked 300 crores of package from the Lieutenant Governor, which the Lieutenant Governor has assured them, so that they can clear the dues for this financial year of the MCD workers. Secondly, they have said that the Delhi government is offering 551 crores of loan, which they are going to take as grant and not as loan from the Delhi government. And thirdly, they have urged the Lieutenant Governor to stop this stopgap arrangement of salaries, which is happening over past 3 months now. Even as we speak, the MCD strike is on. The municipal cooperators are saying that they're doing everything that they can to stop this strike, as this is causing a lot of issues in Delhi. There are health issues which are happening. On Wednesday, about 70,000 teachers and doctors joined the MCD strike in solidarity of not getting salaries paid on time, which has led to traffic jams in Delhi. They have protested and burned tires on road. Traffic jams have happened. Garbage throwing is happening all over the city. And the national capital has been held on ransom, literally, by the MCD workers. Now, we are looking for a solution, and the municipal cooperators are saying that they are going to release the salary of MCD workers till date today for the last 3 months, and it is on the MCD workers if they want to call off the strike or not. But the municipal cooperators are saying that we are doing everything we can to stop this strike, and are blaming the Delhi government and warning them to release the funds as soon as they can.
Now, sticking to that story, Deepa also caught up with Harsh Malhotra, Mayor of East Delhi Municipal Corporation, and began by asking him about his meeting with the Lieutenant Governor. Listen in.
With the intervention of the LG, now we are assuring all the employees that the arrangement of salary money has been made till 31st of March, and the permanent solution is to be done by the implementation of 4th Finance Commission, which Delhi government has to do. LG has assured that they will take up this matter with the Delhi government as early as possible. We have been writing them from the last 2 months that these are the dues. Dues out of 3rd Finance Commission, 3,000 crores has to be paid to municipalities. They have not paid. Even today, yesterday they have paid only 550 crores to the two corporations, North and East, and that too in the form of loan. They are saying that they are loan, but we are not going to accept as a loan. We are going to accept as the grant which is to be given to municipalities according to the 3rd Finance Commission. We have requested all the union leaders to call off the strike, because permanent solution cannot happen in a day. It has to happen with the consultations and with the deliberations with the Delhi government to implement 4th Finance Commission only.
On to a big story that we've been tracking here on Magicbricks now. 9 days after the fire at Devnar made the life of Mumbai's residents difficult, there is little help that has come from the authorities. Though the fire has been brought under control, the air quality index of Mumbai still hovers around the very poor level. After citizens' protests, the Chief Minister has finally set up an inquiry to look into the matter. My colleague Aishwarya Paliwal gets us a report today on what the authorities are doing about this public health crisis.
It has almost been 10 days since the fire that broke out at Devnar garbage dump created havoc with the life of Mumbai citizens. Throughout the week, we saw Mumbai's air quality index only deteriorate, even becoming worse than Delhi at certain points. After citizens protested against the smog that they had to breathe in, authorities have now come out with certain solutions. The BMC has floated tenders for companies to come and build a wall around this garbage dump. They're also looking at setting up CCTV cameras at various positions so that they can keep a tab on who's coming in and who's going out. They're also looking at installing water tanks and water pumps near the garbage dump so that just in case there's another fire, the citizens can douse it off themselves instead of waiting for the fire brigade for many hours to come and take charge. The Chief Minister on his part has now set up an inquiry to get to the bottom of this.
So it clearly looks like civic bodies in both Delhi and Mumbai are gaining the angst of disgruntled citizens, and we have our editor Faye D'Souza still with us to take that forward. Faye, where exactly are things going wrong?
Well, obviously, this is an appalling state of affairs. Two of the most important cities in the country, Delhi and Mumbai, the citizens are completely being left out to dry at this point. Here we have a situation of absolute crisis. This is a public health crisis in Mumbai where nobody is willing to take responsibility. Every conversation we have had with the municipality, with the local government, with the state government, they're passing the buck one from the other, passing the buck from political party to other political party. Nobody's taking responsibility, and this is a crisis situation where the government needs to sit up and take notice and say, this is what needs to be done right now. This is an emergency, and we're not getting that kind of response from the government where they're treating it like an emergency. In the meantime, we have citizens suffering every day. Every day that this goes on for is one more day of suffering for our citizens. We're not even at this point talking about the water pollution and the soil pollution that comes from these garbage dumps. We're just talking about the air, the low-hanging fruit that should be solved immediately. We're not paying enough attention to fire safety in this city. We're not paying enough attention to waste disposal. Let's not even begin talking about the liquid waste disposal that gets pumped into the ocean. That's a conversation for a separate day. But the municipal corporation is just not taking responsibility for something that is this massive. Delhi, on the other hand, how can you have a situation like this where citizens are just left to fend for themselves? It's been 10 days. And again, every conversation we have between state government and municipality is just passing the buck from one to the other, where they're just blaming each other. And it's time for politicians to set aside their differences and do their job. In these cities, you have the highest population paying top dollar taxes and expecting basic services in return. We expect clean water, clean air and roads so that we can go to our jobs and live our lives. And if that's something that our municipal corporations cannot give to us, then we have to really sit back and question the way our cities are run. And it's time for us as citizens to start taking action, at least as on social media. We have to come out and talk about the fact that this is just not good enough when it comes to services.
Just not good enough is the word coming in from Editor Faye D'Souza, because what we're asking for is the basics. Not about futuristic cities, not about all the amenities that developed countries, cities in those countries have. We're talking about basics over here, and what is being done is just not good enough. Thank you, Faye, for making sure that is very clear. And this is a call to citizens watching us to come out, social media or otherwise, and make your point being heard. This is your tax money that we're talking about over here. On that note, we will take a short breather here on the news on Magicbricks now, but still ahead, our special series, India's Smart 20, continues, where we look at Ludhiana and its smart plans. You're watching India's first property business channel, Magicbricks now. I'm Krishna Kumar. Sobha reported another weak quarter as profits dipped on the back of poor sales. The company's revenues stood at 392 crore rupees versus 682 crore rupees on an annual basis. Profits reduced to 32 crore rupees as compared to 46 crore rupees last year. Remember, Sobha had reported a dip in earnings the previous quarter as well. My colleague Rahul Dayama caught up with J.C. Sharma, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Sobha Limited. Listen to what he had to say.
So, coming to launches, we haven't seen any launch this quarter, in particular for consumers who are looking to buy. They would want to know if you have any launches lined up in the next quarter or the coming 2-3 quarters.
See, we have got quite a few launches lined up. We thought that after having launched the 7.5 million square feet of Dream series and having good inventory and seeing little bit lower than expected traction on products above 1 crore rupees, we have thought that there is no point simply launching the projects and exposing ourselves with higher working capital requirement. So we are focusing on clearing our existing ongoing projects inventory. At the same time, we are conscious of this fact. Delhi project, NCR project, we should have launched. We could not launch last quarter due to unavoidable reasons. This will be launched this quarter.
You recently forayed into the entire commercial space with by launching your mall in Thrissur. When I met you there as well, you said you would also look at commercial and leasing, really entering the office space segment. When can we really expect an announcement in that phase? What are your plans for that segment?
See, right now we are, because if you start planning, it takes about 1.5 years for you to start. So we will be focusing on our Bangalore APMC project, and maybe in couple of quarters time there will be a clear-cut plan when this project is going to get launched. 7 except that we are not planning right now any other projects. But with the improvement in the cash flows, we do believe that we have a role to play both on the retail as well as on the commercial space as well.
So you have mentioned that the downturn as far as the real estate sector has only continued in this financial year. But as far as the pricing is concerned, how do you see prices panning out? Do you see a trend reversal as far as the market is concerned as we usher in the next financial year?
See, the prices can only come down if either the land prices or the construction cost or somewhere the approval related and delay related costs get reduced. We do know that in case of steel prices benefit, definitely we are enjoying right now about 50 to 60 rupees per square feet, but it has been more than compensated with increase in the labor cost, salary cost, approval related cost, sand cost kind of a thing. So unfortunately we do not control such costs, and though in India the overall inflation, we are being told it has come down, WPI is negative, but it is not getting reflected in our cost of construction. So until unless that comes down, it will be difficult. So we don't foresee any prices to come down in the near future.
Shifting focus, then, the uncertainty over Mumbai's development plan has come back to bite Mumbai's civic body. The budget table in the corporation this week reported a dip in revenue from the city's cash cow, the real estate sector. Earnings of the development plan department, which clears building proposals, have dipped by over 1,000 crore rupees. Disha Shah gets us this report.
BMC's income in 2015-2016 has taken a hit, and the delayed Mumbai development plan could well be the culprit. The civic body had estimated an income of 5,823 crore rupees from the development plan department. Instead, it earned only 4,732 crore rupees, a shortfall of 1,091 crore rupees. This is being attributed to lesser demand for additional FSI from developers, who in turn see the BMC has itself to blame.
Until the new DP gets announced, the two reasons really. One is, of course, the market conditions are very bad, and second of all, the new DP rules haven't been announced, and hence we can't launch any new projects.
The development plan department clears requests for fungible FSI from developers in the city. Fungible FSI is the additional FSI that developers are allowed to load on their project. They need to buy this from the civic body at Freddie Reckner rates. More the new projects launched, more is the demand for fungible FSI, and higher are the earnings of the development plan department. Now, how much can be built also depends on the plan for that area of the city, which is outlined in the development plan or the DP. The BMC is currently working on a DP for Mumbai, which will be in force till 2034. The uncertainty over when this will be cleared has meant that developers have gone slow on launches in 2015. According to data from Lycées Foras, new launches across the city are down 36% over the last year.
Good number of new launches which has happened in the recent past, along with then if you look at Dombivli, Kalyan, Thana, even to the extent so the Panvel sections has seen a good number of new launches, and there are several projects which are in the pipeline to be launched. So there is a supply which is continue to be surging.
BMC has already missed 2 deadlines to prepare a plan for the city. It was to come into force in 2012. As on date, BMC has asked and received another 3-month extension for the DP, which will end in June 2016. With Disha Shah, Rukmani Krishna for Magicbricks Now.
And it's time now for our special series, India's Smart 20. Now, the centre has done its part of the job. They have announced the list of the top 20 cities that will become smart first up. Now, the ball is in the city's court, and Ludhiana has big plans to make itself smart. Deepa Rana gets us this report on what citizens can expect immediately from the Ludhiana Municipal Corporation.
The city of Ludhiana has seen the highest number of self-made billionaires. It is a city of opportunities. Also a city where you find the highest number of Mercedes-Benz being sold in last 1 year. The city has finally zoomed into the top 20 smart cities mission of the smart cities race. Also, Ludhiana's municipal corporation is now planning to execute their smart city vision by asking the centre and the state government of 200 crores of funds, which they are expecting by March 31. The municipal corporation is focusing more on environment-friendly transport. They are going to remove the auto rickshaw diesel auto rickshaws with e-rickshaws and having them more put GPS in the e-rickshaws and making it more bicycle friendly. We all know that Ludhiana is surrounded by the Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, which makes it an industrial hub as well, and also invites more of businessmen flocking to this city to invest and inviting more of fancy foreign investors. Now, the Municipal Corporation of Ludhiana claims that they have got the maximum number of suggestions from online on various websites and social media, and now they are planning to execute their action plan and make Ludhiana a smart city.
And to give us more details of Ludhiana's plans, we have the Municipal Commissioner GK Singh joining us live from Ludhiana. Mr. Singh, thank you so much for taking time out for being with us here on the news on Magicbricks. Now, firstly, congratulations on being selected as part of the top 20 smart cities. Tell us, what is the first thing that citizens can expect from the Municipal Corporation?
Thank you. It's a matter of pride for Ludhiana residents that Ludhiana has been selected among the first 20 smart cities of India. We are focusing on people's problems like like environment pollution. That is our focus area. People are very happy and people are ready to keep themselves fully involved in the smart city project.
Mr. Singh, I want to ask you, what exactly will you be focusing on? Tell us, what are your priorities when it comes to becoming smart?
Priority areas, 100% water, sewer, which at present we have only 95%. Our focus is on providing clean environment. Our focus is connectivity. Our focus is on city bus service. Our focus is on the peripheral area, which have been included in the city and have been less attended.
Fundraising is an important element of this mission. Tell us, how do you plan on raising funds?
Retrofitting and rebuilding, we are mainly focusing on our own resources and convergence. We are also looking for PP mode also in rebuilding the area. So far, we have not contacted any agency, any FDI agency for funding that project, but we will be looking for this PP mode also.
All right, Mr. Singh, before we let you go, tell us, will you mostly be using public-private partnership model to fund your projects?
We have planned the entire, this is 1,056 crores over 5 years. We are planning to raise our own resources. We are on the right track for recovering our dues from the public, water supply, sewerage, and house tax also, property tax also. We are sure to raise our resources and bring sea change in the next 5 years.
All right, Mr. Singh, we will leave it at that. GK Singh, Municipal Commissioner of Ludhiana, thank you so much for taking time out to be this year on Magicbricks Now. Now, if you have any feedback or suggestions for us, write to us on the email ID flashing on your screens. We are also on Twitter and Facebook, so feel free to tweet to us or post a query on our Facebook page. We would love to hear from you. Also, remember to check out our live streaming website, www.mbnow.in. And with that, it is a wrap on this edition of the news on Magicbricks Now. Thank you so much for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off.